Welcome back to the Life at Next podcast.
Thank you very much, Matt, for having me again.
Yeah, nice to see you, Mubs. How's everything going anyway?
Really good, thank you. Very well. Yeah, it's been a fantastic year. Everything's been really, really good, actually. What about for you?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, I can't believe we were at the start of 24 to kick the whole thing off.
Crazy.
And now we're literally at the end, almost the last episode of the year, here we are again.
I know. It just feels so surreal, the fact that where that time's gone. It feels like yesterday I was talking to you about, goals, etc. for the year, what I'm planning to do. And here we are, nearly the end of the year.
Yeah. Is it me or is it, I mean, I'm going to sound well old here, but it can sound like my dad or something. But is it, it just gets quicker? Feels like years get quicker, yeah?
It does go quicker. It does.
I don't know if it's because you get busier, you can cram more in, but I don't know.
100% agree with that. I mean, right now, things are just flying by so quickly. You blink of an eye and that's it. It's things have gone and, you're on to the next thing and you're just trying to catch up from previously. And it's just, things are going rapidly fast at the minute.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. So so you said about the goals. I know we talked loads about running. Yeah. Which I'm sure I definitely want to catch up on that and see, where you've been at, what you've done that. Yeah. And then I think I remembered I bumped into you, not on here, but you were talking about a different job as well. So should we start there? You started a new role, did you?
Yeah, I have started a new role. So I've started to work in the Mono Workspace team, which look after basically all the devices within the business. So everything that's in the cloud, pretty much we kind of manage it and push out applications, policies, all that kind of stuff. Prior to that, I was in the security remediation team. So this role, I've been in it for about 6 months. Fantastic role, learning a lot. Yeah. And that's what I wanted to kind of achieve from it, to kind of learn new skills and develop myself really.
That's good.
And that's what's next really good for. There's an opportunity there. Sometimes you might feel a bit hesitant and a bit apprehensive whether to apply or not. And then if you have the right conversations with the right people, etc., the support is there.
Yeah.
And here we are, 6 months down the line. It's fantastic.
But don't you feel like we don't really, as people, we don't really grow or change until we absolutely have to? So like, if you didn't put yourself in that scenario, you wouldn't grow and change. And that's what you're getting now. That's what I'm hearing.
That's exactly
You've got a lot of growth from that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I want to do. I mean, there's nothing wrong being in a particular role for so many years as well. That's fine if that's what you want to do. But for me, I really want to kind of develop and see the different side of Next, different systems so that you can be able to get more exposure to. And for me, that's so important, about developing, being a bit more courageous about different kind of aspects of the role as well. And that's what Next is really good at. There's so many opportunities that you can look at. May not be within your remit, but if there's something outside your remit, you can always kind of look at it and venture out and understand, okay, what do I need to do to get to that stage? And I've seen many people who've come in a complete different profession, who've doing something completely different at Next, and they've had the kind of ability and the training mechanism, the training skills that Next have put into offer for them, which is fantastic.
I guess, and that's it, isn't it? Especially even, I know the size of tech's massive, so it's good that you can, even just so to speak, on your doorstep, you can see what other departments are doing and think, if an opportunity comes up, I'll try that. Yeah. Because the two roles the role you were doing and the role you're doing now are very different.
Very different.
Or completely different.
Yeah? Completely different at the minute. I mean, my previous role was more security side of the business, whereas this is more kind of looking at cloud concepts, etc. So completely different. But that's what I love, and sometimes we have to kind of push ourselves, especially me. I'm a firm believer of that.
I get that.
I have to push myself to the deep end and put myself out there. Whether I understand it or not, it doesn't matter. But I need to kind of get myself out there. I want to kind of achieve and aim higher, really.
Yeah. What you're really proud of this year that you think you've achieved, on the personal work?
I mean, going back to our conversation, it just feels like yesterday. Honestly, it's crazy. When I was talking to you about doing the London and Boston marathon back to back. I think that's probably one of my proudest achievements for this year because it was 2 marathons in 1 week. And I genuinely thought I was going to be crippled by the end of it. Even my wife was giving me a look thinking, you're not going to come out of that alive. Literally, it's so... it was such a proud moment, the fact that I did both of them, back to back. And, it takes a long time to recover from running a marathon for a start. Doing 2 back to back is obviously not ideal. It is the way things had fallen in the calendar. But very, very proud of that from a personal level anyway.
Yeah, too, right. Yeah. It's a massive achievement that. Like, to do, I think I know loads of people that run marathons and then they say everyone should run a marathon, and I'm like, I've not done one, and it's
don't worry, we're still working on that.
Yeah, I know you keep chipping away at me. But I definitely think I get it. But to do 2 in a week is such an achievement, and I think it shows a lot of good skills of, it shows that you've got commitment, it shows you've got dedication, resilience. It shows as well you can like grind through it, because there must have been points on both where you're just Matt, like, what am I doing?
Honestly, Matt, I got to Boston Marathon. It is notorious known for having a lot of hills. It's a very undulating course.
Right.
And there's a famous hill called Heartbreak Hill. That's where a lot of people basically, a lot of people actually struggle on that hill. And there's a lot of spectators there to kind of make sure people are going, and cheering people on. That's where people need it the most.
Yeah.
I think at that point, I kind of understood what people meant by that when they said Heartbreak Hill, because it was absolutely notorious, Matt. And it was like 20 odd degrees, maybe more, in April time, which is relatively quite hot during that time in the States. And that was really tough. That was like dig deep, in the pain cave, pretty much, and you just got to persevere with it and kind of have a really strong mental resilience, to kind of power through that. What's
your mindset in that situation, or any situation when, it could be at work, if you've got to have like a challenging conversation, or even if, there's a hard problem to solve, or you're running. What's your mindset when that comes along? How do you tackle it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, for me, it's always been about taking a very flexible approach. I mean, that's very, very important, For me, it's like, things get in the way in life, doesn't it? We have our personal lives, work life, etc. And what's really important to kind of take a very flexible approach with it, and to understand, what you're trying to achieve there. How can we kind of come together, especially if it's a particular task you're working on that's really challenging. Do you need to seek advice? Do you need to seek help from your senior mentors, senior peers? And to kind of understand it, and that's one thing really good about Next, going back to like when you're facing challenges, I've worked with quite a few teams now. Everyone's so helpful.
Right.
There's never a dumb question, you can never ask an ever dumb question, but it's always people are there to help you, and that culture is a fantastic culture that Next have adopted.
Yeah. And it's good, isn't it? Like you can bring personal aspects in to help you with your role, like, so you're going to learn a lot from running, but then you're going to be like, when you're running, I'm sure you're like, right, I've been in tough situations before, I can get through this.
Yeah.
Just got to tell my body to keep, obviously you've got the physical side as well, which is, but that's what you train for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I guess when it gets to the marathon as such, it's kind of the marathons, plural, I guess it gets less about the physical and more about the mental, does
100%.
Yeah, because it's like, I know I can do this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, they say that 90% is mental and
No.
10% is fitness. That's what they say. That's
really?
Yeah, imagine that. So if you can train your mind to go through pain, and persevere at times where it's so difficult, you can achieve a lot in life. And that's what I've done, going back to my running, I've adopted those kind of skill sets and to apply those skills to my working day life. So when it comes to a particular task or a project that may be difficult, may be challenging, I've kind of taught myself on how to kind of overcome that and how to kind of achieve that. That makes sense, because, you have to train the body and train the mind to kind of understand, like, you can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
And it's that is so important, that self-belief. It takes time. It certainly takes time,
I agree with that.
And it's something that you got to just kind of continually try to improve on.
Yeah, I agree. It does take time. It's almost like, it's, practice makes improvement always. And the more you practice, the more you're going to improve.
Exactly.
You're never going to get perfect.
Exactly. Matt.
I just don't believe that. Like, I just don't. don't believe that phrase, practice makes perfect. I'm like, no way. There's always bits you can, there's always small things you can tinker with and improve.
Yeah. What about you, Matt? I mean, what about your goals? Did you manage to tick them off? Or are you still working through them?
I'm still working through them. There's a lot I've been proud of this year, both personal and at work as well. I'm really proud of the team at work. I'm really proud of how we've grown as a team.
Brilliant.
We've had new people coming into the team. We've had people kind of, progress.
Yeah.
Which actually something, 2-3 years ago was something maybe I didn't know what I'd feel or how it'd feel, but actually I find it really fulfilling to see people like really fulfill the potential, or I can see a potential there from people.
Yeah.
So to see like certain people now kind of take their opportunity, like we talk about the opportunities at Next.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, you really can help people in loads of ways, but they've still got to then go and take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to, and you can guide them and be like, look, I think this will be good for you. If they're unsure, you've got to give them that confidence.
That's right, Matt, 100%. I mean, I've had several conversations with people over here who are very apprehensive, should I apply for that role? I feel like I don't meet the skill set, and I always say to people, you may not fit the whole bill on that job description. You may not. But the fact that you're willing to be ambitious and you want to learn, you're driven, there'll be opportunity for you, and they can maybe teach you on the job. And that's what happened to me as well, in my security role previously, or I didn't. They were happy to kind of train you on the role. And that's fantastic. You don't see many companies do that,
No, I think a lot of the mindset with Next is always like, if it's a process or a system or even to a certain degree a skill, don't worry, we'll facilitate that. We'll help you with that.
Yeah.
As long as you've got the ambition and the attitude and the desire to,
exactly.
To take the opportunities and help the brand grow and be part of a team, and all the expectations we've got, whether it be in pushing the boundaries or, kind of, thinking about the togetherness of people, all these different things that we've got. If you bring that with your attitude, all the other stuff, don't worry.
Exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
don't worry. And then when you think about it like that, it's like, oh, it's actually quite simple.
Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes I think as humans, we are very much like, very, very
it's change.
It's change. I've got to learn new things, and I've got to do this, start all over again, so-called, But, sometimes you've got to put yourself out there, and, things, the doubts that you had in your mind, we'll overcome that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, I'm trying to think on a personal level. When you asked that, I was like, I've definitely done some stuff.
Yeah, I was trying to think now. Yeah, go on. I'm sure you have.
I've definitely done some stuff. I mean, I'm mad into exercise now, or
your
working
press ups.
Yeah, that was last year.
Oh, was it last year? Was it? Okay.
That was last year.
Oh, wow,
so
okay.
that was a challenge last year, which actually, I did do all the way through to the end of January of 24. But no, I think I was thinking the other day, I was like, I think I need to start setting these challenges or mini sub goals to my big goals to have something to strive for. 100%. Not to say, I've always got to have it, but I think, definitely at the moment, I had loads going on in my life anyway and things to sort. And I think that's took my focus, whether it be, moving house or building team or, like I was just saying to you before, like exercise-wise, got to have an operation on my ankle. I'm like, oh, God, here we go.
Yeah.
So there's all these things that I'm like, kind of that have come up unsurprisingly, I guess. Yeah. And I've just kind of had to deal with it. So I've just been in one of those periods, really, where it's just kind of like, really like grinding through it.
Yeah.
Not in like a horrible way, still enjoying things.
Of course, yeah.
But I think what I'm excited for is having those different, setting myself those new goals and things I want to achieve and stuff.
Do you try to set your goals like before the year, or do you kind of do it as you adapt as you go?
I mean, do you know what? I tend to do it in November.
Do you?
Yeah. So last year, last year I did it in November of November, and I've done it in November of this year as well. But I do that, so I'm kind of already thinking about it because, you know, I think as well, at Christmas as well, definitely enjoy yourself. Everyone enjoy yourself, enjoy your time with your family, enjoy whatever you want to do. But I think it's good to know what you're going into then for the new year, and why wait to the new year as well.
Exactly. And that's what I say to myself as well. You know, it's like, I don't want to wait till the new year, new me. You know, if I want to put something down, I just jot it down. And it's like, this is the goal. I want to go do it. And try to achieve those goals. You know, they're so important, isn't it? I mean, it's like you said, it's something to strive for. You know, if you've got something like work-wise, especially me right now, I've got some courses that I want to do that get under my belt.
Wicked.
And it's fantastic that Next are there to kind of support me on that journey as well, to get some certifications under my belt, which is brilliant. So it's important to kind of, you know, do that, you know, whenever you can.
So looking ahead then to 2025, what are you kind of thinking? Because I'm now thinking like, I mean, I have got some things in my mind, but have you got anything in particular that's like, next year, this is what I'm going to do?
I've got quite a few goals, personal and work ones as well. So personal ones, I'm hoping to do Tokyo Marathon next year, hopefully.
That'd be
next year,
awesome.
Fingers crossed, so that'd be really good.
How good would that be?
Yeah.
Is that literally running through the middle of Tokyo?
Pretty much, yeah. And I've always wanted to visit Japan, so see
I'm
what
going
the
to Japan
culture.
next year.
Are you?
When is it?
April.
Oh, I might try and time it.
You should time it.
Yeah, I should time it.
You're my biggest supporter.
Yeah,
Come on.
Should time it. Yeah, they should time it. I bet it'd be real good vibe as well.
Really good vibes. Yeah.
Real good vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So hopefully that. I'm hoping to climb Toubkal in Morocco, which is one of the highest mountains in Morocco. So I'm hoping to do that as well.
Wicked.
A very, very keen hiker I am as well.
Okay.
And then work-wise, I've got some goals in terms of certifications I want to get under my belt, you know, with some Mac stuff that I want to really get sorted. So yeah, it's going to be a busy year next year. I feel there's going to be quite a lot full on.
Sounds it.
Yeah. What about you?
I think, you know, at work we've got some massive projects coming. So, you know, we're going to be rolling out a new careers website.
Wow.
So that'll be good. So working with a lot of different teams to bring that to life. And that's kind of sitting under the employer brand, because basically think of it like next.co.uk. It's going to be like the kind of, you know, shop window.
Wow.
To like coming and working for Next. But the way I'm looking at it, and depending like the designs we go down and everything, it's like really, really early stages. We're not really kicking the full project off until 2025. But the way I see it is it's just going to be more than a place to apply. It's like you'll learn about the brand. So like little bit like you see on Life at Next and you get on this podcast. Yeah. It's going to provide more of that kind of feeling to it, as well as the ability to quickly apply to the roles and find the roles you need.
Yeah.
So that's quite big. There's a load of there's some really exciting things coming out from our marketing teams as well about the look and feel of the brand and the way like we present imagery, video, all of that as well. So the team got loads of stuff to do that. And I think that will mean that the employer brand then really reflects what people are now starting to see with all the new imagery and the new way Next is looking as well. And then I think from, you know, a little bit closer to home in terms of the team, it's just seeing that team, the team really grow. There's great people in the team, my initial team and wider team.
Yeah.
And everyone that I tend to come across with, whether it be yourself or anything, I think there's a lot people can do. So I think there's Next has got a lot of opportunities coming up in 2025, which I'm really excited for.
Watch your space and aim. Yeah.
Too right, mate. Too right. And then personal, get my foot sorted. I'd really like to do a high rocks. I'd really like to do that.
The amount of times I've seen lots of videos circulating on those high rocks ones are insane.
They're everywhere. It's like the new CrossFit.
It's the new CrossFit, isn't it?
Yeah. But it looks, if anyone's done it, start commenting below. Tell us how, you know, amazing it is. But I really, really want to do one of them. So that'll definitely be a goal. I definitely want to do some sort of half or even maybe full marathon. I don't know.
Wow, he said it.
I said it. So I definitely want to do that. And then I'm definitely thinking about, you know, me in terms of like just, you know, keep developing me as well in terms of as a person. So there's definitely more I can work on, whether it's like, you know, definitely been like bringing that more people element out of me of like compassionate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's something I can really, really work on to, you know, so I can really like relate to other people and kind of connect with them more as well. So yeah, loads to go at.
Loads, isn't it?
Loads to go at.
Absolutely brilliant.
And I think it's good to have those goals and then mini goals along the way.
Yeah. I mean, do you ever find yourself like, if you don't achieve those goals, like what happens in those kind of scenarios?
That's a good question.
For me, it's a big thing. Like, for example,
Really?
I'm very time driven when I'm running. For example, if I don't get my time goal that I've kind of was expecting, I can get very deflated very quickly.
Really?
Yeah. So,
oh, interesting.
So it's like I'm very, very focused on my time. It has to be in a certain time that I've trained for, that I want to get. So for me, that is a very big thing, you know. So sometimes I find it difficult because it's like, if I don't get the time, I'll get demotivated. I'm like, oh, that was a bad run. But then I have to kind of switch it a bit and be like, you know what? I should be grateful for the fact that I'm here. You know, I'm breathing. I'm able to run. You know, I'm healthy. You know, and that's the kind of switch I've got to kind of do then to kind of put me in that other mindset then basically. But
everyone's got their own expectations though as well. So I think I get what you're saying. Like there's a balance between being. I think it's important to feel not disappointed.
Yeah.
But like, oh, I've not done something I was. And I think it's important for that not to sit right because it shows you care a little bit as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess it's how long does that kind of last with you?
It doesn't last long at all.
Okay.
It doesn't last
then.
at all. Honestly.
I didn't think it would.
No, I won't be dwelling on it for the next week or two. It's nothing like that, Matt. But in terms of like at that present moment, you know, when it's finished, the race is finished, etc., it's like that's where you start to reflect and be like, oh, okay, what could I have done better? What could I have done differently? You know, do I have to change my nutrition? Do I need to change this? Do I need to change that? Did I put the time in? Did I put the effort in? You know, all that kind of stuff start to kind of, you know, put on your mind basically. But, you know, sometimes I do find like I can't be too hard on myself equally as well. You know, you did your best. You know, did you put your 100% effort in? You know, you did. Yes, but that's a tick box done. You know, that's what should matter. You know, and even with work, you know, bringing those kind of skill set to work when you're doing your, you know, certifications, whatever it is, any projects that you're working on. Sometimes things can go a bit sour, which is, I think, you know, it's normal, isn't it? It happens. But, you know, again, we just have to kind of circle back and reflect on, you know, what can we do differently or,
100%.
You know, and we can learn from it.
Here's a question around that as well, in terms of, do you enjoy more getting to the point and doing the thing, whether it be like a marathon or launching some new software or whatever it might be, or do you actually enjoy all the way up to it?
Yeah, all the way up to it.
Is that what you enjoy more?
All the way up to it. All the way up to it. From the beginning to like, oh, things are not working as it should. What can we do to fix it, to make it better, make it more efficient, you know, automate it, you know. From the beginning to the finish, and it's always nice when you see it in action, you know, right to the
100%.
end, and be like, oh wow, that's worked out well. That has so.
But it's almost like,
you know,
for me, I almost feel like that's like, whether it's like even, you know, say I do High Rocks next year, or, you know, the careers website launches or whatever. I think I'll get more enjoyment along the way and working on things and developing and dealing with the challenges and, you know, pushing my body and all that, because I know as well, like you say, when I've done it and that thing, I'll be really happy and I'll be really, you know, or, you know, I'll be happy with the end result or happy with how I've performed.
Yeah.
But actually all the enjoyments before that, that's almost like the icing on the cake.
That is pretty much, exactly.
Yeah. Which I think sometimes is why then, I guess that's why some people, I saw when it was marathon season as well, like loads of people just crash, don't they, after a marathon in terms of mentally. Like they get this come down. But I can see why, because you spent all that time
exactly, man.
Like focusing on it.
100%. And it's like 18 weeks prior, you're building up to that one day, you know, and mentally, physically, everyone's exhausted pretty much. So as soon as you cross and finish the line, it's like, yeah, you know what? You know, pat yourself on the back. You know, what you just done there is just absolutely incredible. You know,
no, it's good. It's good. It's good to celebrate the wins.
You know,
it's good to celebrate wins big time, and it's good to enjoy it. And, you know, and look back on things you've done. I think, you know, we're only here for a blink of an eye, really. If you think about it, you got to enjoy it.
100%.
You got to enjoy it, and there's going to be times when, you think, oh God, this is it's not a good day today. It's not a good day today. But it's like, how long is that day going to affect you?
Exactly.
Are you going to do something about it, or you're gonna let it sit?
Exactly. You have to be positive. You know, you can't dwell on the days that you've had, you know, which are really rough, and you know it's not gone too well for you. You got to be positive and just kind of have that really, you know, positive attitude to kind of like, there's another day, let's just crack on and start fresh again. You know?
So one bit of advice for everyone in 2025. What you're going to say? Like, what's one thing you'd? Someone's watching this at the end now of 24.
Yeah.
And they're thinking, you know, naturally it gets to the end of the year. I mean, they've got Christmas. Everyone will be thinking about the festive period, however it's celebrated. But, you know, then quickly everyone turns to the new year. What's your one kind of thing to think? Oh.
I think set yourself realistic goals. That's very, very important.
Nice.
You know, pan out the calendar, find out what you really enjoy, that you take great pride in. Set realistic goals. And if there are setbacks, then don't be too hard on yourself. You know, it's okay. You can reevaluate those goals. Self-care is so important. You know, big firm believer of that. Do something that you really enjoy, and you know, and do it more.
Nice.
So
like it.
Yeah,
like it. Well, I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah.
I mean, thanks for coming on again. It's great hearing about all your goals, and hopefully everyone else is like, okay, right, I'm ready for the new year.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks
Cheers,
for having
mate.
me. Thank you.